This is what we preach here. This is Radio Biafra London in defense of liberty and freedom. This radio was started by Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, who is in the enemy dungeon renditioned by the Nigerian government. Extraordinarily, they committed international crime and they refused to obey their own court order despite Mazi Nnamdi Kanu being released from the prison on the 13th day of October 2022. Therefore, we shall never forget. Therefore, I once again welcome each and every one of you to welcome your friends and well-wishers onto this hallowed platform. Please draw nearer to your listening devices. Draw nearer to your listening devices, because this is where we worship. This is our rallying point. Radio Biafra London, where we worship. And Biafra remains our religion. Therefore, today, being the 7th day, I continue announcing the date so that you understand that we are live and direct. Once again, today, Tata Boboche Asa, no October 2024. Tata Boboche Afo, being Monday. Therefore, you can tune in on on our FM in Biafra land, 102.1 in many parts of Biafra land, and more are coming up, please. So our people should be patient with the leadership of the struggle. Installation of our radio, FM, many things are involved, and there are many sabotages. That is, Ima speaking, this struggle has opened my eyes on many things, on the reality. Do you know what is reality? Reality. It is very easy to comment, to criticize, to suggest, but to do, there comes the problem. When you are, don't you see, for example, during the electioneering campaign of countries, you see opposition leaders castigating. Hey, if I dare, I will do this. I will do the. But if he ventures to win election, hey, all those things he say, the hardest thing to do in this life is controlling people, controlling human being, making human being to flow towards one direction is not easy. Radio. Do you know? Not only radio. Do you know? So it's not easy. I'm telling you honestly. It's not easy. Or they easy at all. With the mentality of many of our people. Money driven. Na kana potande be abroad ego. Na can just unnecessary things, You see that with the going on our land is very, very difficult. It's very, very difficult. One thing you might pay for it 5 times. One thing, one object that you must pay for it. Story. You pay again. You pay again. You continue. Nah. So our people, we should be patient. For our radio, it's not easy, but it is not impossible. That is why we must continue in this struggle. That is why today I will talk a little bit about what we are doing. Self-determination. Just a little synopsis, a little bit about it. Self-determination. That is what I'm going to talk about today in a brief manner. So, we are also live and direct on satellite, free to air satellite. We are there. Go to radio version. You'll be hearing Radio Biafra London. Moreover, if you have Android telephone, Android cell phone, you can download IPOB Community Radio. It is a very low data consuming application. I've been saying it. It doesn't consume data much as others. It is purposely made so in order to help our people, so that with little data you can be listening. In addition to that, you can also download Simple Radio as a backup. In case if there is a little problem on IPOB Community Radio, you can switch to Simple Radio. Once you download your Simple Radio, you scroll to Radio Biafra London. Just type in, search for Radio Biafra London, and you will see it. You'll be hearing our voice live and direct. Therefore, once again, I welcome each and every one of you. Do not forget also to go to our website, www.ipob.org. www.ipob.org. You can listen to us. I could remember in the early time of our leaders' broadcast, sometimes I listen through this. ipob.org. You go there, you see where it is written, the section for Radio Biafra London live broadcast. Click there and you'll be hearing me live and direct. You'll be listening. Moreover, if you want to donate through PayPal, go there and make your donation. Go through the procedure of PayPal. If you feel that it can't go through, or you don't, or the PayPal cannot send that type of amount, that kind of money you want to send to IPOB, make contact. Make contact. Even through all these studio lines. You can drop a message that, Mazi, please, can you call me? I want to make a donation to IPOB. Please, can you call me urgently? And you'll be contacted, either through Signal, through WhatsApp. If you don't want your name to be mentioned on air, there is no problem about it. It will be done, it will be done covertly. No person will hear about it. If you also want, after donating, maybe you donated $500,000 or 100,000 euro, and you want your name to be mentioned every day on air, or why put her here? We will call your name. That is no problem about it. Anyhow you want it. What we are doing needs finance. Any movement of this magnitude needs finance. Without finance, we go nowhere. Because better no honama. You send, do this, do that, put radio, put all finance, or therefore, as you are listening to me, as you are hearing my voice from every part of the world, I urge each and every one of you, in order to make sure that you contribute your quota. You don't need to be a family member of IPOB in order to contribute. No. You can be a sympathizer. You can be, as I said, if you can do it secretly, no person will know about it, as you wish. But I am assuring you that whatever you put into IPOB, it will be used for purpose, or on purpose, or for the purpose. Nothing more. We are whiter than white and whiter than snow. Are you hearing me? What we are doing is not everybody that can do it or have the capacity to do it. Volunteering your time, volunteering your money, volunteering, paying bills for this struggle. It's not everybody that can do it. I am telling you. So, we need, we need funding from each and every one of us in order to continue. Because we are not backing down. We are not backing down. Are you hearing me? This is self-determination, freedom fighting. We must continue. So, before I enter into the subject matter of today, there are things I want to talk about. There are things I want to talk about. You know, there are some news headlines I want to check. Some news headlines. Yes. There are some news headlines I want to talk about. And let me start by what is happening. You see what is happening in the Middle East, Levante, Middle East. There is a news headline of today. It says, most Nigerians in Lebanon failed to show up willingness to return home amid Israel-Hezbollah conflict. Finance Minister. I cannot understand even Nigeria. Or was the Finance Minister in charge of bringing people home? I don't know. In my Nigeria nearly got upside down. When you have Finance Minister instead of Minister of Foreign Affairs. I don't know what concerns a finance minister. Maybe he's a person, the ministry is to finance the payment, but it's not his job to talk about it anyway. But that is Nigeria anyway, because Nigeria will never cease to surprise and embarrass everybody. That is why it is a zoo. Most Nigerians in Lebanon failed to show willingness to return home amid Israeli-Hezbollah conflict. Now you ask them, those that they return home to where? From frying pan into the fire. Okay, they come to, they return. They come to where, terrorists, you call bandits, they are having field day. They could be killed by terrorists, Fulani terrorists, you call bandits. If not that, they could be killed by on military checkpoints or police checkpoints, Nigerian armed forces checkpoint, any type of force. You can be you are like, if you don't know who is who. Are you hearing me? So why do you think that Nigerians fail to show up willingness to return in a country, from a country other nationalities are running from Lebanon, even from Israel? But Nigerians say, you tell them, say, where will they go? Is it from? It's better. Some say it's better they die there now. It happened in Ukraine. Yeah, didn't it all? They start running from one place to another. That is Nigeria. He says it's very, very sad and pathetic that we are in a world, in a place, in this type of world, in this type of situation, where you have, when you remember your home, you start crying. Where will you go? Bombs are raining everywhere in Lebanon. Everywhere. But other nationalities are running away. They say most Nigerians in Lebanon feel they don't want to go. Where do you want them to go? Where they will be slaughtered like an animal. Is that where you want them to go? So it's better if they stay, at least be killed by a bomb. Let me call it a civilized bomb. Instead of you, one dirty, filthy Almajiri in Nigerian army uniform menacing you in your own country. In your own country. Menacing you, threatening you. One of our brothers, he said the other day, he said, look, on the road in Nigeria, I had it. He called and I had it the other time. He said, he was going, I don't know from where to where in our land, and on roadblock they stopped him. Nigerian military. One useless northerner stop him. What thing you carry? He said, I carry goods. He said, okay, come down, open. He come down, open. He saw whether he saw chicken or goat. He said, but you say you are carrying goods. He said, but these are goods in general. Do I need to be mentioning these? Are they contraband? Are they banned goods? He said, you Igbos are crook. I want you to just think. Is it not better you're in a foreign land where they call you any type of source of name because you're a foreigner, you're black, and you endure it? Rather than being inside your country, they call you a crook. They summarize, say you are race, all of you are crook for nothing. Discriminating. He has gone. Are you hearing me? Many of you had the testimony of our brother. I listened to it. I said, that's it. You know, highest thing I normally Igbo man, you will laugh for one kind of laugh. But you don't know how painful it is in your own so-called country where you should be a proud citizen. Now they relegate you into calling you names, derogatory names, referring to you for nothing, just because you're an Igbo man. He has gone to that. He said, he told the military, he said, do you want me to tell you the truth? He said, yes, tell me that truth. He said, I know, you come from north. But those people, can you go back to your place, to your village? Because they have taken over your village. Because you know it's not a Fulani, but it's a northern. So you are calling Igbos all our generality, say we are crooks, because I told you what do you carry? I carry goods. Goods means, and it can mean anything. I'm selling goods, the chicken. It's goods. They are goods. So what is wrong with it? But because of the hatred, the people that have taken over your land, you don't call them crooks. You are not against them, but you are against Igbo, because that is what you are programmed to be right from childhood. Then the man told him, say, hey, it's me you are talking to like that. Go and sit down under the sun there. Go and sit down there. You see how, if for example, let me say, Nigerians in Lebanon, Igbo Nigerians in Lebanon, they come and see you as black people and say, you people are criminals because you are black people. Oh, go and sit down under the sun. How will the world react? I'm just painting some picture. What a picture for you. Maybe people testified, or there is a video evidence. How do you think that the people will react? Everybody, the world will react. Hey, it's discrimination against black, or because the Africans. But this is what we Biafrans, we Igbos are undergoing every day in our own land. Are you trying to understand what I mean now? That is the reason why you see when they say most Nigerians in Lebanon fail to show up or to show willingness to return home amid the Israeli-Hezbollah conflict. I don't blame them. Not everybody can endure this type of treatment. But because we are a pacified people, Ndibo, we are pacified people, one, with the religion. Anytime I'm talking, one thing or the other must bring, and it's truth. It's not lie. We are pacified set of people that no more. You endure everything. We undergo any type of discrimination in our own land. Not only in the north or in the southwest, in our own land. They call us names. They treat us as a full-grown man. They will tell you, one useless, filthy idiot, because he has a rifle. The guy say, yes, I have to go and sit down under the sun, as he commanded me, because he has a rifle. He can shoot me there inside the bush because and label me that I'm an armed robber. Every other person will say, even it serves him good. Kill all these criminals. Because that is how life is in Nigeria. Life is nothing in Nigeria. Life of an Igbo man, it worth nothing. I am telling you honestly, life of an Igbo man worth nothing. It's nothing. It doesn't matter how wealthy you are. Remember Rocha Sokorocha, who was the beloved of the North, so to say, as he perceived. But they came and treated him like a rat, a common criminal. It's an Igbo man. You cannot run away from it. Ojo Zokalo, he went to cry. So when they treat these people that serve the North, they treat them like this. You, as an ordinary person, maybe Ibutrike, carry car, build a house, you are nothing. What are you in the what are you? What is keeping you is only your contact. All those contacts can just that Alhaji you are boasting with, he come off his phone, and you'll be treated like a refrat. You could be treated like a refrat. That is the life of an average Igbo man in Nigeria. Are you hearing me? So, how do you think that they will come back? I know that many of them are Igbos. Many. Even Yorubas are there. Benin, all, they are there. So, how do you think they will come back? When their home is worse, as an Igbo man, you could be treated as a cockroach in Nigeria. And no person cares. The worst part is that nobody cares. That is the thing. But IPOB cares. That is why we are here. In order to fight for self-determination, for our people to be liberated. A common, politically driven force. That is what IPOB is building or has built. It is not about self-interest, no, but a common political ambition. Our collectivity. That is what matters to us. Are you hearing me? So, that is it. Now, let me go to another news headline. That was yesterday's news headline. He said, government officials, police are accompanying me to bandits' den for negotiation. Sheikh Gumi. These are people that are on Nigeria. Sheikh Gumi. He said in an interview, let me read it a bit. Sheikh Ahmad Gumi has described that in his negotiations with bandits, remember, bandits are, these people they call bandits are ISWAP. They are Islamic terrorists. Fulani terrorists that are on the rampage in the north. Taking people's lands. Displacing refugees everywhere. Which they wanted to bring in our land. But our people should be at alert. Because most of them are they don't they at alert any other place. Our people, once that sentiment boys, everybody whoa, after everything we cool down and they will do what they, but IPOB we are at alert. All this so-called IDP. So Sheikh Ahmad Gumi has disclosed that his negotiations with bandits always occur in the presence of police and government officials. Are you hearing it? Are you hearing it? When asked in an exclusive interview with Sunday Punch why he has taken the matter of speaking to terrorists seriously, Gumi said, I am in the eye of the storm and I am a full-fledged Nigerian. So as a full-fledged Nigerian, you support terrorism. That is a full-fledged Nigerian. It's a mark of a Nigerian. That is it. A terrorist. Are you hearing me? Have you ever had where he is being tackled or by Nigerian government or arrested? No. No. Because Nigeria is about terrorism. That's it. That's the reality. So let me continue reading. Okay. I also have an interest in peace and tranquility. I cannot wait for the official narrative because I've been in the army and I know how things go. He don't want to wait for official narrative. But he's going with the officials, Nigerian officials, police and other Nigerian government officials. How do you rate that? How do you compare the statements? It shows that Nigerian government is supporting what he's doing. Nigerian government is with him. They are together. Today, 90% of our intelligence is garbage. What we have left is just about 10%. That is why we have coups coups because intelligence does not have a way of identifying these people. There is a place I want to read. They also killed their leaders. Okay. One thing Nigeria, he's still talking, Sheikh Gumi. One thing Nigerians should understand is that I have never been to any den of these people. You don't want to call their name. Den of these terrorists. Without officials of the government. I go with the police because one cannot go alone. You must go with them. He said these people, these are his people. These are the people he referred to them as Fulani warriors. I remember Sheikh Gumi campaigned that nobody should vote for any presidential candidate that will come to kill these people. Instead, they should vote for any person that will come to pacify them, to give them more chocolate, to negotiate with them. Now, what do you people want? You want land? No problem, be taking it. And they will remove other indigenous people, as they are doing. They will displace them. You know, what is happening in Nigeria is subtle demographic changes. They are changing demography. That's why I say the indigenous people of Nigeria, I'm not talking about the only Igbos alone, the whole indigenous people. You know, only Fulani, they are not indigenous. Others are indigenous. The whole hundreds of indigenous tribes in Nigeria, they are the most stupid set of people. I am telling you. Like that guy, that Northerner that was talking to us in a military uniform with a rifle, AK-47, that he can never, his generation can never think of manufacturing. He is happy that he's serving Nigeria, but he cannot go back to his village. Maybe his parents or his his community are on refugee camps in Nigeria. What happened to their land? That is the question that Nigerians should ask. Who is occupying all those land? We are refugees, internally, they call them IDPs, internally displaced people, which they want to bring in Imo State. Who is occupying their land? Whereas you can say no active war. Who is then occupying their land? Is it not a reasonable question that should be asked? But do you see Nigerians asking this? Because Nigerians are programmed to think one way. No person there asks pertinent question. Who are the people that are occupying people's land? All these people's land. Millions of people. The other day it was said that refugees in Benue, they have stayed there, 7 to 9 years without no care from the government. No care, no resettlement, nothing. Now, the millions of refugees. Now, who are the people occupying those lands, their places, their ancestral lands, where they run out from? Who? There it tells you all you need to know that what is going on in Nigeria, it is the complete Fulani conquest, Fulanization going on. They remove people, all these Fulani terrorists, they call bandits, they kill, and people run away from their communities, from their ancestral lands, and they will bring their Fulani people and take over and rename that community. They rename it. And, you know, now their politicians will be playing politics like Sheikh Gumi. They will be playing politics, you know, for time to go. Nigerian government should pacify. But you are all these refugees who are occupying their lands. Who are the people? Is it not a reasonable question? No, Sheikh Gumi is busy interceding for them. No, there is I say that the Fulani, they are working as a war group. You see, aircraft carrier, American or Russian aircraft carriers. They don't go. An aircraft carrier goes with it's a war group. Attack Apache helicopters, you know, jet F-15 or MiGs, they are on top. You have radar jamming system. You have boats that are different things, choppers, U-boats, everything. They are going with them in a group. They are working in synergy. That is how Fulani they are. They are politicians. When they foot soldiers, that is this Fulani band, the terrorists they call bandits. They are doing their own job on the street. They are doing boot on the ground. Now the Fulani politicians are busy protecting them through politics, lobbying for them. Somebody like Sheikh Gumi, as a imam, he's working tirelessly. All are working towards one goal. Bala Muhammad will tell you that we are bringing Fulani here. Don't blame. Not every tribe have criminals, so you cannot label Fulani or criminals. They all are working towards one end. That direction is Fulanization. Nothing more. Are you hearing me? What is your own? What are you doing? What are you doing? That is why IPOB is working towards a restoration of Biafra. Are you hearing what I'm saying? That is it. So, Sheikh Gumi said many things here. I'm not going to continue reading it. I'm not going to continue reading it. But So, what are Nigerians doing? Nothing. Nothing. Oh, do Nigerians do they know? Everybody is being programmed to look for what he is going to eat. Him and his family. Nothing more. They don't care about politics, about what is going on around their vicinity. That is not their problem. As long as it's not that their personal interest or their personal need. Remove Nigerian from there. Take, everybody hustle for yourself. Talk less of Igbo man. It's very, very sad. Very, very sad indeed. Nigerians have been reduced to ordinary farm animals, where they just feed each other. Each of the animals is just fighting to feed himself. He doesn't care about what happens to his fellow. That is not his problem. They don't have no political ideology. When I talk about political ideology, that is collectivity, a collective interest. They don't have it. What matters is, individual feeding, individual aggrandizement, selfish interest. That is what matters. Now, what is your difference between you as a human being with the farm animals? Ask yourself. Is it because you can wear clothes? Is it because you can wash yourself, you can take shower? Or because you can cook? That is the only difference. Remember, human beings are referred to as political animals because we are always, human beings supposed to be civilized. What do you mean by civilization? Working towards a politically driven force or towards a political direction. That is collective interests, collectivity. Building a garden that we now serve for planting of individuals. Everybody emancipating as an individual. You first of all have to build a garden. Now, the last but not the least in the news headline, there is this man, the Nigerian Chief of Defense Staff, General Christopher Musa, in a TV interview, he said that he opined that the indigenous IPOB movement and her struggle for self-determination and independent state of Biafra from Nigeria is parochial and money-driven. That the people, they are fighting for themselves, for what they will gain. And we challenge him to come and, who are those that are fighting for themselves? And IPOB replied. That's why I'm going to read a bit this article. IPOB's struggle for self-determination would have crumbled if it was money-centered. Of course, yes. If IPOB was money-centered, they blocked our fund in Germany by Madam Nenayanya, Madam Finance. IPOB, we are still strong. They thought that they will crumble everything. We are still strong and marching. Are you hearing me? When you are in a difficult situation, when a human being is pushed to the limit, there you will understand the power of human being. If you take an example of all these desert dwellers, the Buzu, all these Tuaregs, they can stay for days without water because they are in extreme situation. It's true. They can tell you, they can waka, without compass in a desert, and they will be telling you direction through flow of wind. They can be telling you direction through stars of the night. Through they will raise sand on the, raise up sand with their hand and spread it. The way the wind is blowing the sand, they will tell you, and they will go waka waka and they will reach. Because they master the art. Because of they are in extreme situation, so they must survive. Are you hearing me? So IPOB have been pushed to extremity to destroy us, but here we are still. That's why I'm saying, who said that we are going to crumble? you are just daydreaming. That IPOB. Can you hear me with IPOB? When you block the fund of a movement, which means it's dry off direct. But here we are still moving. Do you understand the force behind us? Do you understand that? Therefore, in reply to that, is it Ibrahim Musa or what is his name? Christopher Musa, the Chief of General Staff, that IPOB, that they are not fighting for self-determination. We are not fighting for any region. We are fighting for ourselves. And you ask this man, if IPOB is fighting for individual, proceeds, do you think that I will be here talking? I get nothing from IPOB. I mean what I mean, and it's something physical, finance, nothing. Instead, I put IPOB had calls everywhere, the same thing. We are army of volunteers. So what is this man talking? They have done everything, and we are still moving on. Because there is nothing you can tell him again. That is what they are doing. So it's just ordinary psychological propaganda in order to try to derail us. But that one is a childishness, honestly. What have they not done? Let me continue reading. In Mr. Christopher very own words, IPOB he said, IPOB are doing for their own selves. A lot of them are doing it for money they are making. That is what the man said. They are not fighting for any region. They are fighting for themselves. He used Nigerian mindset to judge us. But he understands the reality. Are you hearing me? Okay, let me continue reading. It is imperative to buttress that the indigenous people of Biafra IPOB movement is non-violent, yes, and as such obtains the funds for her activities via peaceful means, more precisely via crowdfunding by active members of the movement all over the world and supporters who deem it important to support the struggle for emancipation against the marginalization being meted against Igbo Biafrans. This has been true for IPOB since inception in 2012. That is the reply to that man. IPOB adopted the crowdfunding technique of Sam Mbakwe, the late former governor of Imo State, whose efforts gave birth to the first international airport in Southeast after the Biafran genocidal war of 1967-70 years. As a child, my father paid for Imo Airport. They call it Imo Airport Appeal Fund. Every primary or secondary school, after school fees is Imo Airport Appeal Fund. Every time you must pay. You must pay. You pay, they give you receipt. Abianacho, people, what I'm telling you is 80s. It's 80s. My father paid for it on my behalf and on all of us that we are going to school as children that time. They call it Imo Airport Appeal Fund. That is crowdfunding. That is what. Do you now see what onye tota penny, onye ozo tota penny, you know, once a crowd, thousands, if not millions of people, they contribute money. One naira, it becomes millions. This is what all these so-called men of God are enjoying. Crowd is contributing for them. But they, some Bakwe, used that fund, crowdfunding, to build the Imo airport you are enjoying in Owerri today. How many of our people can do it? Build it. Without, destroying the fund or exploiting it or eating it. They built it. Not with no Nigerian government help, nothing. Instead, after building that airport on international airport standard, Nigerian government refused to equip it internationally. You know, it's the Nigerian federal government that can equip it. Our own is building. It's just like the way we build schools in our villages, in Biafra land, in Igbo land. And we give to government. Now government will equip it more. It's everywhere. So for people that are saying, no, you people can, there is no way you can develop to capacity without government. It's impossible. So we built that airport individually. It's an individual crowdfunding. It's Igbo people that build airports, something that have never happened anywhere. International airport standard. That airport you see in Owerri is international. One time I was passing there. One woman is an immigration woman. He was, as I was waiting for flight, he was complaining. Just stir up conversation. He was going to say, airport to standard. Man, Nigerian federal government, how could they equipment? The woman was lamenting. Privately, it's a private conversation. Then they don't want to give us, because I won't deep. They don't want to equip it internationally so that it will be international standard. But it was built international standard. And you will see people saying how Nigeria is marginalizing everybody now, every part of Nigeria. Nigerian government is not lie. It's with people that say this, it makes me feel that these people are naive, ignorant, or mischievous. Tell me which other place in the north, in the southwest, that an airport was built with individual effort. Tell me, with the people's effort, community's effort. Tell me. And when you see some of our flefu continue, giving excuses also that every part of Nigeria is marginalized. Tell me which other, did the Yoruba pay, did their children pay airport appeal fund? Did the Hausa children or Fulani children in the north or Jukun, did their parents pay airport appeal fund? Tell me. It's only in our land. And you are talking that, no, we are not marginalized. Upon that, instead of even compensating us with the international standard, they disagree. There are equipments that Nigerian governments have to bring in order to make it international, in order to give different equipments, international equipments. Radar system, landing system, or this and that, they refuse. What do you call it? Was it done in any other place? The answer is no. So, that is what we are trying to remove ourselves from. After 1970, the federal government of Nigeria refused to commit to any developmental infrastructure project in the region. They bombed into oblivion for 30 months. Thus, the governor at his time passionately implored every household, community, indigene, and clan, not only in Imo State, but across Southeast, to generously crowdfund the construction of the airport in the state from ground zero till its final completion, making it arguably the only project of such magnitude and caliber in the world to become a reality under such community-based circumstances. The freedom movement adopted this method since her methodology to Biafra restoration is intentionally inspired to avoid a repetition of belligerence over the Biafra quest as much as possible. Thus, under such circumstances, the movement cannot ask the people to fund the struggle for Biafra self-determination quest. Secondly, such restraint of non-violence approach to agitation hinders the Biafra movement from getting distracted onto exerting control over natural resources obtained abundantly in Biafra land, which would undoubtedly provoke an inflow of more Nigerian armed forces into the peaceful region and could undermine the position of Biafra as a non-violent group. That's it. That's it. I will expatiate more when I enter into the subject matter. So, on this premises, I'm jumping some places. IPOB choose to crowdfund her way out of operation, having learned from the outstanding precedent set by De Sambakwe, though the intensity of the project in question when juxtaposed are incomparable and homologous. Nevertheless, for IPOB, it has to be done, and there is no other way. In fact, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, the leader of the movement, of IPOB movement, who is still currently being incarcerated in Nigeria, popularly maintained before his abduction that only the IPOB global family will fund the movement for Biafra restoration until its achievement. And the IPOB leadership, listen here, and the IPOB leadership has disciplined themselves to staying on this course amidst pressing challenges which arose after the IPOB leader was abducted and extraordinarily renditioned from Kenya in 2021. Events which led to the confiscation, grounding of the IPOB international account in Germany, which in it held generous contributions from members of the global family. It must be acknowledged that after the extraordinary rendition of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, many elements sprung up and tried to inject, hijack, divert the IPOB Biafra struggle into a money-making venture, some of whom went as far as using insecurity to indirectly tax unsuspecting members of the people, kidnapping, looting, and seizing properties of the people. The IPOB leadership decried the certain elements using its name unbeknown to them to go solicit for funds from political figures in various levels of Nigeria, and the IPOB leadership constantly denounced such, maintaining that the IPOB movement does not operate in such matter. Yes, we have been saying it, shouting, even I've been saying it here, that IPOB leadership never sent any delegates to anybody to go and solicit for fund. We are an open movement, open organization. That's why I used to say, our lines, our studio lines are everywhere. If you want to contribute privately, you can make contact in this studio or in this studio line or other studio lines. You understand? And you'll be directed to the leadership. That is how it goes. There are some unscrupulous individuals that used to scam people. They will go and meet politicians and say, "Hey, man, now we be the leadership now. Now we be the leadership of IPO." You hear me? So, I need rego. Many things happened in this struggle. Some, if they know the number of any leadership, like Mazi Chinasamuru, when they are in the presence of all these people, they will call, they will just die, say, "Come watching us and work in only." Without him knowing nothing. They say, okay, don't worry, I'm going to wash guys. That's why I'm just saying it is not easy to control a people, a human being. Talk less of Ndibo. Talk less of Biafrans, the most difficult thing. What IPOB is doing is building capacity. Capacity to resist. Common capacity. Building common capacity for common resistance. politically driven force. Do you know what it means? It's not individually based or individually driven self-interest. No, politically driven, so that we'll be moving towards one direction, notwithstanding your self-interest or your selfish interest. That is what it is. Are you hearing me? That is why IPOB have been shouting. IPOB leadership never sent anybody to come and meet you as an individual, as a business person, as a politician. Oh, we need fund. Give us. Go now. We are ESN. These are scammers. IPOB does not work that way. So, and a movement that is open, is transparent. How does this man, the chief of army staff, Christopher Musa, so-called, say that that IPOB, many are working towards their own selfish, people are individualistic, working towards their own selfish interests for money they are making? Quit making money. Let him come and prove it. You know, they throw out the propaganda, and you see people will start falling for it. No, these are blackmails. It doesn't work with us. No, this blackmail, no. That is why IPOB is responding. Though all these are fair, I continue reading, as none of the objectives will attend to any reasonable or substantial extent, the orchestrators are not stopping. And this explains the recent commentaries of the Nigerian defense chief. The agenda is still much alive. The IPOB movement survived the financial sabotage at its heart since 2021 because of its contingency plan. The IPOB global family did not falter and abandon the struggle and the movement, even when there was no pseudo man-made or rather enemies covertly sponsored the reasons to do so. Now, the Nigerian defense chief is out to resurrect and project this agenda, showing that the government is far from seeking detent with the IPOB movement or the Biafra quest for self-determination, contrary to the rhetorics of few uninformed fellows who thinks or believes that they have been assured of a negotiated conclusive end in favor of all. The only thing hindering the agenda of demonizing IPOB in the eyes of the people is the institutionalized hate and phobia against the people of Eastern Nigeria, Nnamdi Biafrans. The Nigerian government institutions, including its armed forces, cannot help this as it is congenital, but continues to pursue the goal of destroying IPOB, which is widely viewed by the people as a dome of defense and an output medium to mainstream their plight to the global community. This is why the agenda is failing and cannot hold. Let me just conclude. Therefore, it is worth noting that IPOB struggle for self-determination would have crumbled if it was money-centered, as claimed by Nigeria Chief of Defense Staff. But rather, the struggle for Biafra restoration is divine and ordained. It is the only hope and contingency for the people of East. This is why the people, whom, by the way, funds it, will never abandon nor repel it, no matter the attempts or orchestrations of the government. So it is time for the opposing parties to come to this indisputable reality and take the necessary steps. A referendum is not a death sentence. It is a voting process to resolve a political solution through a popular will of the people. Use it. It's written by Family Writers Press International. Very handsomely put. Therefore, we must continue. As I said, I will go to the topic of my submission today, which is self-determination. Self-determination. You know, we talk about it every time, self-determination. Now, let us dig a little deep. What is self-determination? And why is it necessary? Self-determination is the process by which a country or nation determines its own statehood and forms its own government. It is the process by which a people controls their own lives. Are you hearing me? That is the simple definition. Self-determination. Oh, I don't want to live like slaves any longer. I don't want to live like a vassal. I want to chart my own paths. That is self-determination. You go your way, you be in charge of your own self. That is self-determination. And that is what we are engaging. It is the right thing to do. It is something that is, is under the United Nations Charter. The international law backs it. That is why we are doing what we are doing. That is why we don't hide as IPOB all over the world. We don't hide. We come out for protests. We come out for different commemorations openly. Are you hearing me? And that is why, Nigerian government has tried everything in order to undermine us, to make the world see us as terrorists, which we are not. What we are doing is self-determination. We are trying to determine our destiny. We are determining ourselves as a people to be in charge of our destiny. That is what we are doing. Why? The main reason for self-determination is lack of being in charge of one's destiny. That is lack of freedom. If had it been we are free, we wouldn't be fighting for self-determination. Who does it? We are limited in our own land. That is why we want to chart a path in order to form our own government, to determine our own statehood, our own government, form our own government, to be in charge, for us to be in charge, because we are not in charge. Look at the story I told about the Imo State Airport in Owerri. For your information, the time that that Imo State Airport was built, there was nothing like Abia State, for your information. That time, Imo and Abia, we are one place. It's one old Imo. So, it was built by all, both Abia. So now Abia, it was yesterday. Are you hearing me? So, we built airports through our individual contributions. And now we have to apply for our slave masters to accord us equipments, standardize the airport, give it the equipments necessary to make it, pronounce it to be international airport. They say no. They say no. If I'm traveling to anywhere, I must go to Lagos or Abuja. That is the unfortunate situation. You must pay for flight, local flight, now go down to Lagos. That is extra expenses before flying to your base. Do you see that we are not in charge of ourselves? Are you seeing it? That is why we are on this mission of self-determination. Because we are limited. Do you see why we are doing what we are doing? We cannot fly. Normally, you want to fly, for example, you want to fly to Italy. Or you want to fly to Jamaica. Maybe your flight is 9 p.m. From Oloto, where it's less than 20 minutes drive. So you wait and do everything. Maybe 9 p.m. before 6:30. Now you start going. So that you reach at the airport 7 o'clock. You are in time. You check in and fly coolly. But no, they put us in a situation whereby you have to. Okay, imagine that you cannot fly from Owerri to Lagos. Now, you start going 1 week before the time, because any eventuality in the Nigerian situation can occur on the road that will waste your time. So you start going to Lagos within 1 week. Oh, check your expenditure for 1 week. And maybe those with you. Check it. These are the burden that we are trying to remove by doing this self-determination. I hope that you are understanding what I'm saying. So that when somebody tell you that, no, what you people are doing, you tell him, no, we want to remove load. Nigeria Nigeria is a heavy load on us. That is why we are trying to self-determine ourselves, so that we be in charge of ourselves. We become very light, and we can run our own speed, and no more carrying load, because Nigeria is a heavy load. Are you hearing what I'm saying? Once a people lacks the above, remember today I'm talking about self-determination. Today is the 7th day of October 2024. Therefore, for you to understand that we are live and direct, corresponding to the date, if it is not that date, you know that we are not live. But once today is the 7th of October 2024, being Monday, you know that we are live and direct on Radio Biafra London, Hausa-Service. We will continue. Once a people lacks the above qualities, that is the qualities of being in charge of their destiny, quality of freedom, quality of independence, now they remain subjected to situations and conditions contrary to their lifestyle. That is the reality. Once you are subjected to living contrary to your lifestyle and not being in charge of your destiny, you could be qualified to be a slave. And nobody wants to live as slaves. In our present situation, fighting for our self-determination should be strategic and tactical. This is where, knowledge, wisdom comes in. And that is why I played the clip of that our brother that decamped from Joe Ayaba. I played the clip of his interview, I think yesterday, yes, on BTV. I played some of the places, the clip. Are you hearing me? This is where wisdom comes in, because many of us have been clamoring. Fighting for freedom is not about the zeal. You can have the zeal, but you might not have the wherewithal. Are you hearing me? You might have the zeal, but you can have the zeal, but you might not have the wherewithal. That is why the leadership is taking it easy. You don't understand. The leadership is taking it very easy, moving on and checking. That is it. Otherwise you lose control of everything, because what we are doing today is mostly about on wisdom. When you are fighting with a person stronger than you, and you look at physically the person is stronger than you, now you use your brain. Are you hearing me? You use your brain. It might be that the person is muscular. If you near him, he will squeeze you and crush your bones. You will not allow him to touch you. You might, before you reach him, you use sand. Why he will be fighting to remove this thing, the sand from the eye. You can hit him even in the eye. That is tactics. But when you go, I'm powerful like him, he will squash you. That is what people should understand. What we are doing is tactical, mostly tactical. In our present situation, fighting for our self-determination should be strategic and tactical. We should know that freedom fighting, that is self-determination, has no rigid formula. It has no rigid formula. This is how to do. No. Different tactics and strategies should be adopted at different time changes or as time changes. Are you hearing what I'm saying? I I had the guy, rightly so. He said something which I completely concur. That you must be, first of all, you have to build capacity. You understand? And make everybody politically, you build a politically driven force, not individually. Do you see where the difference between this usurper, the usurper? He just entered into the scene and started, he saw himself because of some individuals in different places, like in America, they want to use anyhow in order to bring down the struggle. Now they put him at the forefront. He saw himself all of a sudden as a forefront. No, and he started doing anyhow. No building of capacity. He didn't build a politically driven force that makes everybody to be moving in collectivity. No. When you allow people, few individuals to have gun, to be armed, without common ideology or heavy politically driven force, that we have a common common focus, a common purpose, what you achieve is anarchy. And it will backfire, in your presence. Are you hearing me? Because the force you are fighting, Nigeria has the money. They have the capacity in order to operate, use, enter, they infiltrate you. Telling you that now we want to. You don't know that they are agents. You tell them, okay, continue. Now they will start oppressing our own people. The people you are purportedly, you say you want to save, you liberate. Now they turn against them. That is false flag operation, and that is what is going on in our land. That is why they make sure to be using IPOB name in committing crimes. Whenever Nigeria will tell them, be using IPOB. Because they want, truth to be told, IPOB is the main driving force in this restoration. It's not the only group, but IPOB is the outstanding majority group that is leading this struggle. So they want to bring it down. That is why the Nigerian government is using the egocentrism of these people, this experiment, in order to do what? To turn this genuine quest for self-determination, now turn it into, make people start seeing it as, oh, these are a bunch of criminals. Our own people. Have you asked yourself the arrest of Cho Ayaba? Have you asked yourself why? Because he was doing, that is not, I'm just giving it as an illustration. It's not my topic, but I'm just giving it as illustration. I've spoken with him. The desperation or the extremism he was portraying, it, as he said by his second in command, he don't have the reality, the force, the capacity to match it with the force. You understand? So the thing backfires. Criminals will go and commit crime. Tell him that, oh yeah, we are doing freedom fighting. We are doing freedom. Now they will turn against, they will go and commit crimes against the same people that they are trying to save. How do you equate it? This is what they have contracted the experiment to do in this our quest, so that they will bring our struggle down. I have preached this. I have equated it to the Syrian war. Why President al-Assad, why he's still in power, why he survived. Because the people, he infiltrated the people that we are fighting for genuine political reform. He infiltrated them with Islamic terrorists. And they were not at alert. The Islamic terrorists, the ISIL, Islamic State of Iraq and Syria, ISIS, they hijacked the genuine struggle for political reform that should have been supported by the international community. And once it was supported, it would have been supported. Once the cry of the genuine cry for political reform in Syria, had it been, it gained momentum as it should be, without violence, I am telling you, by today, Al-Assad wouldn't have been in power. You know, I've said this several times. But he played it heavy time. He played it big. He outmaneuvered the West. He unleashed, he allowed the prison breaks in Syrian jails. Because you know that there, inside there, you have all these Islamic terrorists he jailed. And he know that once there is prison break, they will come out and hijack the genuine cry. Had it been these people didn't bring violence and they allow only demonstration, protests, you know, American government wants to bring Al-Assad. He's an enemy to them. Had it been these people, they will be killed, yes. They continue protesting and, with a flag. And this guy will be killing them. You know what? They will exactly do what they did in Libya. They will enforce no-fly zone over there. And the international community will condemn Al-Assad and finish. It will be his end. But he infiltrated them. He removed these Islamic terrorists from jail, from Syrian jails all over Syria. And now they hijacked the genuine movement, the genuine cry. And the people, they were not alert. They were saying, oh, these people, Nnamdi cannot be, let us follow them. Nnamdi are now water. They will continue praising them. Today they are regretting it. They are nowhere to be found. Do you see why the leadership always tell us to chill? That all water is not good water. Are you hearing me? All water for self-determination, it is the end that justifies the means. You might be seeing these people carrying, once they carry AK-47, you say, nah, where did it happen? Nah. What is the end? Do you think that perimeter you are, it is only what defines the end? Don't you think that the international community are watching? That Nigeria is also performing some things in using all those things. Don't you know that? Don't you know that? We will never allow our genuine self-determination to be hijacked by Nigerian agents, by criminals, so that they will tag us and equate us with criminals. No, it's impossible. That's why I wrote in my timeline. Maybe some people might not understand. I wrote it I put a note. I think today, is it? Yes. I put a post on my timeline, Jonas Raphael. I said, note this fact. IPOB will remain a pen in the ass of Nigeria until we are liberated. No all-out war and no peace. We must continue pushing. We hold them in a bad position. Some people might not understand this. You know, our people are sentimental. The more we go, the more you understand the things, how the dynamics of the politics, how it is. Nigerian government wants us to come out openly, so that what they want, what Nigerian government wants is for us to come out in open warfare, so that we will, Igbo hatred for the Igbos galvanizes all Nigerians. I think you know that. So that the divisions they have among them, they will now regroup on our head. And who will be the loser? I'll be a crush immediately. Do you see it? Do you see it? That is what they want. But we say no. The leadership said no. Because, the self-determination in the 60s and self-determination 21st century is not the same. As I said at the beginning, self-determination has no rigid formula. You change with time. It's dynamic. It can change any time, and you change. For people that are thinking, there is a way you can do something like some of our people are, questioning for now. Let us no. When you do that, you start up something you cannot control. Because most of our Nigeria have the capacity of infiltrating on the ground. They have the capacity of infiltrating and turning everything that we have gained for many years into rubbish. It will become money driven. Don't you see how for their selfish interests? Don't you see that? Some of them now hotel na Saba. Don't you see that? No, and other places. On ransom money. On the freedom fighters. Don't you see that? Don't you see the handwriting on the wall? So, that is why I put it that we must be what? We must be highly careful. And that is what the leadership is trying to do. They are careful. Leading millions of Biafrans, mostly Igbo Biafrans, is not easy. Many people have their private interests as number one. So it is for the leadership to to gather everybody. Make an awasha, I gather a match one step forward. Make a people on awasha, it is not easy. Let me tell you this story of you always hear of piracy, Somalia piracy, don't you? The Gulf of Aden. How they give the international community, the West mostly, and some Asian countries have taken over by force, rolling up and down in the Gulf of Aden. Let me tell you something. The rise of Somalia piracy in Somalia coast, it started genuinely, as a genuine way in order for them to seek for international or to look for steer international outcry against what is happening against them. Let me tell you, when they remove what is the name, Said Barra, the then president, Mohammed Said Barra, from I think 1991, is the West. In Sobunile, the West, because they saw him as a fascist, as a communist. So they try everything to remove him. That is the start of Somalia you are seeing today as a laughable country. It was done by the West, for your information. Yeah, that is how the world is. Otherwise, that hammer will come and hit you and will destroy you forever. What Somalia is suffering today is from the West. When you hear piracy in Somalia, which the West have taken over with the force of guns in the Gulf of Aden, it was started by normal self-determination outcry. Because Somalia, due to the civil war in Somalia and the weak government, many criminals, international criminals, I call them international criminals because they can be international, companies, but they are criminals. They are scavengers. They are vultures. They started fishing illegally in Somalia coast, in Somalia waterways, in the Gulf of Aden, and that place is rich with fishes and other water animals. Anything fish is very rich. Their coastlines. You see people, the Western companies, and you know what the worst thing? They dump hazardous materials in the coast of Somalia, killing Somalia all the time. Are you hearing what I'm saying? This is real. So these people, these poor people, Somalians, their local fishermen have no more fish to fish. Instead, they breathe in hazardous, poisonous materials and be dying. Even, can I say, nuclear waste. They because no control. They don't have no navy. And this thing also reminds me, we always talk about our crude oil and other natural resources and mineral resources in Biafra land. Oh, it's been exploited. Do anybody talk about our fish in our oceans, in our coastal lines? Do we even think about it? They are fishing there. The West is in control of that bite of Biafra. Fishing, no control, nothing. It's a public toilet. You go and take as you want. What we are defending, our oil, our crude oil, our gas, our mineral resources. What about our fishes in Atlantic Ocean, in the bite of Biafra? Have you ever seen Who Cares? Nigerian government, Fulani Caliphate, collaborates with other Western companies. They come there, they fish anyhow, they do anything they want, nobody challenge them. This is why we are engaged in self-determination in to control our lives, because we are completely naked as a people. So let me go back to Somalia. Now, Somalia cried. Their voice, who had their voice? Say, all these international, criminals, let them get off our coast. They are dumping poisonous waste in our ocean, and we are the people dying. It is killing our fishes. They are overfishing with trawlers. They even ban the type of fishing, they are doing it. So when nobody cares about them, you know what? Now they start with self-help at first by challenging all those fish boats, all those boats they see in their land, in their coast. It started little like that, and people now, they will go and pursue all those fishing liners. Before you know, they will take hostage. They will pay ransom. They will loot their boats. And they go to Maraha. They say, okay, they now forgot their collectivity. They started being involved in the criminality. It becomes a very big criminal enterprise. When you take ransom, now people, when you take a hostage, you call and the company, they will send you $2 million. Somebody that have never touched maybe $500 before, his own share will be $200,000. They become very rich now individually. They started investing, buying houses in Kenya. In Kenya, they have areas, for Somalians. All these sea pirates, yes. Now, that situation now turned their head. they started operating as gangs. They are no more politically driven. Do you see how things happen? For people that are saying, no, let's go to water, let's go. If you don't take time, if you don't have the capacity to control, because it needs the capacity to control what you started, it will get out of hand and it will turn back to haunt you. And let me tell you, the West, they knew, they allowed them because they knew that they will shoot themselves in their leg. And that is what they are waiting for. After some time, the West started campaigning. America started, there is rising piracy in the Gulf of Aden. They know. When they were suffering, making genuine calls, nobody listened to them. Now they enter self-help. They enter violence. That is what they are waiting, what America is waiting. Do you see that? After now, they started taking hostages and taking ransom. From there, it entered their head. They started competing, forming criminal gangs. They say to hell with Somalia as a people. They don't go for collectivity now. They go for individual. Only name investment in Kenya. Now, America starts, now they rose up. The West started their own campaign. Say, no, these people are no more there for self-determination. They are no more there to fight off, crying for overfishing in their land. They are no more there. What they are doing is criminality. That is what they want to turn IPOP struggle. I don't know whether you understand what I'm saying. They are waiting for you to make mistakes, for us to make mistakes. For us to, acquaint ourselves with criminality, taking hostages, putting a 1 month lockdown, and killing our people. Now you see the West rise up and say, these people, they are criminals. They are not even fighting for self-determination. They are just killing their people, committing war crimes against their own people. Because that is what, I used to tell you, Nigeria, anything these criminals are doing in our land, any crime they are committing, violent crime, Nigerian government videos it, they will circulate it to the whole embassies, world embassies in Nigeria. You don't know. That's why our people, that's why it seems like when you talk, it seems the leadership is not listening. No, they are listening, but they are watching things from up, holistical view, aerial view of everything. But you are seeing things just like that small view you are, that small radius where you are. No, it is not that. Are you hearing me? Just like Somalia, they started genuinely. What they were doing, it was genuine. They had the right, in order to ward off, to go to war against those people, those people that we are stealing from them in their cause. But do you have the power? Do you see that? Do you have the matching power? The answer is no. So you need brain, more brain than physical power in order to fight them. That is what IPOB is doing. And Nigeria wanted us to, they want us to fall into their trap so that America will strike. Bam! Say, okay, this is a terrorist organization. Fight them. Hey, I will not put money again. If I will, they will track me. Hey, they will this and they will jail me in America. Oh yeah, they will jail me in Europe. No, me, I'm not there again. Andy because I am an here no, I not told you na Nzuzo or Putazi Mban. Do you see that? So the struggle, the Somalia struggle that they generated into what they labeled as piracy in the Gulf of Aden is a very big mistake. Are you hearing me? They have a genuine cause to what they were doing, but they made a mistake in confronting a people, a system that is highly more powerful in that way. Now the system hits back on them. Today, Gulf of Aden is being militarized by the whole Western armies, military, navy, all is there. So where are the people? No more. Somalians. They now exploit their land as they want. They fish as they want. They, they remove or discard hazardous products in the Gulf of Aden as they want because they are under military occupation. American military, French military, naval base, all are there in the Gulf of Aden. Do you see? That is a mistake they want us to make. That is what I'm trying to explain. And that is what this our brother explained. Not always violence is not ruled out, but you have to do it with brain. Oh, something. That is how it goes. When you are fighting with if you are watching boxing, for example, if you see a boxer, two boxers, maybe one is taller than the other, highly taller than the other, one is shorter. The shorter one will always be moving around. He will not like them. The taller one, because they have long hand. It will be moving around, running from the shorter one. The shorter one will always like to come closer. Are you hearing me? But the taller one will be using the advantage of his tall hand and tallness and tall hand in order to be giving him gap from back. So that is tactics. It depends on your enemies. Now you see how you work with them, how you deal with them. The system we are, the situation we are holding Nigeria is the best. All out war, we say no. We are peaceful people. I need pinching all the time. We wear them down. I am telling you, we wear them down. We destroy their reputation internationally. We destroy anything concerning Nigeria, and we wear them down. That is it. You don't know how it is hurting them. Because if they talk, if they always communicate with their Western counterparts, why are you allowing these people? Help us. IPOB is a pain on our ass. Label them international, so the international terrorists, so that their Western counterparts say they never fall into trap. We thought these people are wise. What they are doing is legal under the international charter. There is no point to hold them. There is nowhere we can hold them, so there is nothing we can do. Our hands are tied. It's an open, they are on self-determination legally. They always process, they are not violent, and they are not, we never see them. We thought that they would be taking credit if all these your agents, the criminals, do something. But they always release a press release and communicate and say that they are not a criminal, they are not the author of this. So how can you hold them? That is so the reply Nigeria get from their foreign counterparts. They say, how can you hold them? Nothing. So it's better you regulate your issue with them. We are watching. If you go too hard on them, we will condemn you. We say we'll give them referendum. That's it. So let our people understand. This freedom fighting is not a day job. Are you hearing what I'm saying? It's not a day job. If you go direct on physical violence or what declare Biafra or your war, no. I'm telling you honestly, Nigeria, the whole Nigerians, they will say ndi Igbo abịakwana again. Ngwa ha zikana ma Boko Haram ma ISWAP ma this Fulani bandits that is their warrior. Now they bring them down in our land, direct. Do you see? They will unify in our land, direct. Do you see what IPOB leadership is watching, is seeing, but you are not seeing it? Are you seeing it? So, that is it. The first thing is to build capability, capacity. And command and control, so that everybody will be flowing towards one direction. You know, a flood, it becomes a flood when it is not controlled. But once you build a gutter, a big gutter, you channel the water, it will no more be a flood, it will control. The water will be flowing. Water finds its own level. Are you hearing it? That is what the leadership of IPOB is doing. Are you hearing what I'm saying? People on ground, when you arm everybody, so yeah, you see, egu no kokopota, ma ano here manu lopota, say I'm fighting for freedom. Do you remember when many Biafran roads were cleared by unknown gunmen, which we didn't know? They are non-gunmen. Do you remember when they were cleared of checkpoints? What happened? Is it not still our people, both Dick and Harry, both Nigerian agents and selfish individuals, criminals that came out, start collecting food, start killing our people under robbery? And no place is safe. Do you see that? Now, our people's joy now becomes grief. Our people start calling, saying, nah, the police are beg, Nigerian military, more come back, come populate us, I beg. You said the more they extort us. No problem. Because what we are seeing now, you cannot move from point A to point B. You cannot move 100 meters without being harassed by criminals. That is what they created. Do you see that? In order to make you regret. Are you hearing me? It was driven by the Nigerian agents and individual criminals that never cared. So, for us to engage in a situation, the leadership must check. They must look around and check the wider consequences. Not the way you are seeing it, no. The wider consequences. Are you hearing what I'm saying? Because different people are driven by their different interests, individual interests. Mostly our people. When you say, okay, this is our collective interest, tomorrow if there's wait, maybe hunger catch them one day, they tell you, say, oh boy, nah, here now, they move out. They start committing. And once they commit, they see millions to finish. You don't. What happened in Somalia? The same thing. Now that time, Nigerian government will laugh. Now they will give America say, "Oh, now don't see." They have developed or entered into a state of chaos, and it's part of Nigeria. So we must go and deal with them. America will say, "Oh yeah, go." Meanwhile, the IPOB is now a terrorist organization. It's a criminal or international criminal organization and be banned. What are you going to do? Even if you don't want to, you say your wife or on America saying you want to bring problem to me, to this family. You get me a divorce immediately. What are you going to do? Do you see? And when I hear the leadership, do you see what they are watching? But you don't see it. That is why when you look at it, you say, when people write, the DOS are wise, the DOS is wise. You don't know what it means. So you must follow the trend. We are working as a group, not individual. You know, in a group of millions of people, if it is matching, for example, ordinary physical matching, now walk, pass. There are people that are very weak. They cannot walk even 1 kilometer an hour. There are those that are very sharp. They can run even 20 kilometers per hour. There are those on wheelchair. But the DOS, the leadership of this struggle, is carrying everybody along, because all of us are Biafrans. That is why, it's not about being extreme that will give us what we want. No. I used to see some people, they would say, nah, I will leave. I start doing my own thing on my own way. You are not helping issue. If you say, no, IPOB is not working, it's not running as you want, now you do your own. Your own as an individual, you are nothing. We never achieve this individually. It is holistically, a holistical approach. We must work together in order to fight the institution that is holding us, to fight the demons that are holding us. It is not about one person. No. It's not about one person. That's why we have the extremists, yes. We have the moderates. We have the leftish. But we are all Biafrans. We must work in synergy. That is the thing. We should never allow agents, Nigerian government agents, to come and deroute us, to come and turn what we are doing, turn it upside down, take us the route we don't want. No, that is what you should understand. That is why when you check, you say, like many of our people, we are sentimental people. We like where we see something that is moving. No, that is why our people are easily deceived. Now here they walk, now here they happen, now here, the same way they run, that is the same way they will be disappointed and start regretting. Because they move, they jump before, they leap before looking. That is, they jump before looking. And it is too late. That is why some people, they are dead. Just out of their ignorance or stupidity. Oh, come and join. We are enter Biafra. Come and join. I carry gun, give you. Before you know, they sell all of you. They will kill all of you. You start regretting. Why did I? Or when you enter, what you are seeing, you say, nah, Biafra will the fight for Abuna waiting. They will be going armed robbery. Before you know, it is too late. You can no longer go back. That is how people enter. That is why, before you enter, before you jump, you must look where you are jumping, whether it's clear. Think, reason. It's not what you enter. Before you start thinking, now where I enter, it will be too late. So, I'm talking about self-determination. When fighting with somebody stronger than you, you use your brain more than your force. The Nigerian government has been luring IPOB into an all-out war situation. But the IPOB leadership remains wise enough to understand the situation we are in. In self-determination, we have every right for self-defense, yes. But we should be careful enough not to allow our enemies and criminals to take undue advantages. Are you hearing me? Are you hearing me? The most important issue in self-determination is to continue maintaining absolute discipline through command and control, without which it becomes anarchy. Because without command and control, now let me do my thing. You have your group. This person have his own group. The other person have his own group. How will it work? That is what our brothers are suffering in Amazonia, as revealed by Chairman Kapu. That is what they are suffering. Because everybody have, and you see some people, the Cameroonian government is a government. He have the capability. He will put their own group also, as they are fighting with you. They call their own group names, and they will be committing atrocities, destroying your name or destroying the struggle in the mindset of your own people. The same way these Ekperima people are doing, they are destroying the struggle, the genuine quest for our self-determination in the mindset of our people. Go to Osu today as we talk of IPOB. Go to Osu, say you are an IPOB member. They will kill you. They will say, we don't want Biafra. We don't want, in some Osu communities. Because what they have suffered from the hands of these criminals, anytime they burn their houses, they say we are IPOB, we are ESN. So how much IPOB? That is part of Nigerian government's strategy. It's intelligence work. Are you hearing me? That is why we must be careful. This is where I'm going to stop. I will go into a few minutes break, so that when I come back, I will open the lines and the people will start calling in. Please do not go away. I'll be right back.
Engage, because I remember at that time there were other factions within the Amazonian struggle. Remember, Amazonian struggle also have several factions. There were several factions that were engaging with the Mazi, Nnamdi, Kanu, and exploring the possibility of having an alliance. And we had a very robust strategic plan that I think I helped draft that strategic plan. I was the head of our communication as well, in terms of the PR of how it will be rolled out, and to be able to governize our resources, our people, for effective self-determination push. So the fact that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu personally accepted that alliance with Ayabacho, I think it was a betrayal for Ayabacho to break ranks with him at his lowest point. And it is driven by showmanship, as you can see the character of Simon Ipa and Ayabacho. They have similar character. They are both very passionate about what they do, but there is a risk when you are a leader and you are desperate for power to help your people, and you sometimes tend to your extreme side when you don't have a corresponding strength to show up or capacity to show up what you project on social media. It is very easy to go to your dark side. And Ayabacho have been walking that dark tunnel, I think, with Simon Ipa, pushing the radicalization far beyond their capacity to control that radicalization, and even helping the enemy, the oppressor, to be able to take advantage of their radicalism. Simon Ipa, just like Ayabacho, have been pushing policies that have not come from them. And one good example was the excessive use of lockdown in the Biafran region. I was approached by the Biafran community, I think in Northern America, and the one in Hong Kong. I had several meetings with them where complaints were made about a 1 month lockdown that was declared then by Simon Ipa. I approached Simon Ipa with those issues, and he was very upfront to explain that the main reason those lockdowns were being declared was that he had pressure from the ground, from the forces on the ground. And I think that is the same thing with Ayabacho. When you have pressure from people that you want to use to project yourself, that you don't necessarily have control over, because every political leader, every activist that is in this arena of self-defense, arena of self-determination, you are fighting against a country, you must be able to control the people that you claim you represent. But if those people are the ones controlling you, the intelligence service of the government will easily take advantage of them. You can have people approaching you and telling you they are soldiers on the ground, they want to fight in your name, they want to carry out operations. It is very easy and tempting as a leader to say, okay, go and shoot gun here and there, cause chaos, and then I claim credit. It makes me look like a strong man. But at the end of the day, when those people start using that same power, when you have given them that legitimacy to start killing your own people, which is what the oppressors will do. They will carry force flag attack against your own people, so that the general population will detest the movement. They have killed Nigerian civil leaders on the ground, attacked people of very significant that are loved by the population. And then now these leaders who have come to claim that they own these guys, they cannot distinguish between the action of these criminals, and some of these criminal gangs are actually controlled by the Nigerian security agency on the ground. You can't put yourself in that situation. It is a trap. I had worked with Ayabacho to fight off these urges to accept groups that you have no control over. And when you go down that path, your people will suffer. You will be trapped in a place where you cannot pull back. I don't think Samuel Ipa has learned from what has happened to Ayabacho. Ayabacho have been arrested in Europe, and there are interests of the United States even extraditing him to America to answer for crimes which has happened in Amazonia. Simon Ipa may end up falling in the same trap where he has endorsed group in Biafra, claiming now he's a prime minister of Biafra and having armed forces that he do not control. When those groups will start committing war crimes that are documented, he will not be able to distinguish himself or run away from their act. We should understand that propaganda is a tool of war, it's a tool of leadership, but it also have its lapses. Sometimes when you are not careful and you don't tame yourself, or you don't have people around you who can advise you as a leader to be able to tame your pride and build capacity that you can work with to do your propaganda, because propaganda is a legitimate tool of war. Even governments, they use propaganda. You can fall into that type of situation. And Mwada, Jovista, I want to also mention that the day that is being celebrated, I say the day that is being celebrated as the Independence Day of Nigeria, 1st of October, I want to remind the Biafran people that that is the same day that Amazonia break up from Nigeria. We were all part of the eastern region that was created in 1960 to 1963 by the British government. We were part of Onugu. We had parliamentarians in Onugu. And on the 1st of October, we seceded with United Nations Resolution 1608 and become part of Cameroon after a plebiscite. So we have a joint history. Most Nigerians during that era had served in the military in Ambazonia. Many of our parents studied in universities in Nigeria. We were all one people using one passport. For 41 years, we had been one people with Nigeria, sharing Nigerian passport and currency and Nigerian flag. And the amalgamation treaty that was used by the British government to bring this division in Nigeria, where you now have the eastern region have been separated to southeast, and all those names that you people call today. Those are all lingering effects of the Biafran civil war, which could have given the Biafran people their independence. Unfortunately, it didn't happen. And looking back at history and given the experience I have as a defense chief in Ambazonian movement, a top diplomat that had led our diplomatic team in many missions in Europe and in Americas, my advice to the Biafran people is for them to learn from the Ambazonian experience, learn from how things are going, and try to adjust your movement. I'm not a Biafran, but I'm a lover of Biafra. I have a lot of good friends in Biafra. It is my interest sometimes to say my view about the Biafran movement. The Nigerian government, if they are wise, if the new president who is there is wise and seek peace and try to return that country back to the regional divides that existed in 1960 to 1963, it might solve a lot of problems and create that space where the people of Biafra can feel a sense of identity, patriotism with Nigeria or whatever. But there should always be a room for leaders not to tie themselves in a tight corner where they cannot come out. Independence is the ultimate dream of the Ambazonian people and the Biafran people. 90% of whom wants independence, they want to live free. How do you get to that independence is very important. The radical instinct is that you fight and say it is independence or everybody dies. That logic, if you look at history, did not save a lot of people. Nelson Mandela, for example, he wanted freedom. He was ready to go in for self-defense. Unfortunately for him, he was arrested. But that period transformed his movement that looks similar to what Martin Luther did in the United States of America. He appealed to the conscience of the nation in South Africa. His time in prison was a campaign for him and the wife, Winnie Mandela, to appeal to the conscience of the war and the conscience of white South Africans and say, we are fighting for a rainbow country where both blacks and whites can coexist. We can look for a formula where the majority black people, if it's a democratic country, can win the election. And the ANC has been dominating politics in South Africa for a long time. Similar thing with Malcolm X. He won where many other black Americans failed to fight against segregation. His appeal was that all men were born equal. That was the creed of America. So he tapped into that and said that I have a dream where black and white can walk hand in hand. And that kind of crippled the political will behind the segregation state in America, where they could not withstand their own population. White people begin to ask questions, why do we have to treat black people this way if our constitution says that all are born equal? So my advice to the Biafran movement and the Biafran people is that sometimes the violent path, if you are not very careful to develop the capacity and with the absence of actual leadership on the ground with leaders like Mazi, Nnamdi, Kanu, who have the welfare of the Biafran people at heart, with the absence of leaders like that, it will be very difficult to attain a liberation by force. It will be more practical, more attainable to approach independence in a gradual step like PRAP have adopted. A similar model like that which the Northern Ireland they adopted. It was not a betrayal of the cause of independence, but the ETA movement in Spain, the the Basque movement in Spain, and the Northern Ireland, they discovered that their population were suffering the most from the war with Great Britain. There were no pathway to military victory, and they come into an agreement, a negotiated settlement with Great Britain that has provided the Northern Ireland and the Scottish people a constitutional pathway for independence if their parliamentarians choose to do so. A more moderate path by Mazi Nnamdi Kanu as he pushes it, I don't think those things should be on social media. I think should be embraced by the Biafran people, because the radical element within the Biafran movements are now on steroid. Before you realize, if they are not tamed or challenged by more moderate and reasonable voices in the Biafra movement, they will come to a point where we are today in Amazonia, where the violence against our own people, the suffering of our own people are being inflicted by those who are supposed to be their liberator.
Welcome back. This is Radio Biafra Hausa-Service coming to you through Radio Biafra London. My name remains Mazi Jonathan Chinedu from Alo province of Biafra land. We are here live and direct. Today is the 7th day of October 2024. Tata Bo Obochafo, being Monday. Therefore, our lines are now opened. Our direct line is +1 213 328 6224. I repeat, +1 213 328 6224. Our WhatsApp and Signal line is +61 405 142 547. I repeat, +61 405 142 547. You can call us now and give us your own view, even if it doesn't matter how. But here on Radio Biafra, this is where we reason together. This is our rallying point. We learn from each other. Therefore, do not be shy to call in order to portray your view. Please, this is our rallying point. It's our parliament. Radio Biafra is our parliament. Remember, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, even during his time of broadcast, people can call him and even disagree on some of his points. It's normal. It's welcome. Therefore, our lines, as I said, is open. You can call us and give us your view. Remember, today we talked about self-determination. We will continue until victory is assured. We must continue because self-determination is our fundamental human right. We must determine how we run our lives, because in Nigeria, we are not running our lives. We are not in charge of our destiny. Ahmad Bello said that under Nigeria, they should never allow us to be in charge of our destiny. And that is what is happening today. Are you hearing me? But here we are trying to remove ourselves from the slavery of Nigeria. That is what we are doing. Therefore, the issue is maybe how the leadership, how we are going on it, how we are going on it. Maybe you want more speed, or you want to be more slow, or you want to be, it's your perception. It's okay. But what matters is the end. That is it. Because IPOB is not here to satisfy one person. The satisfaction of IPOB is attaining our focal point, attaining our goal. That is what IPOB is for. Therefore, you can, as I say, you can call us and give us your view. Because in this struggle, a time comes. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu said something sometime. He said a time will come in this struggle when no more physical strength left. No more physical strength. It will be about your willpower. I am telling you. No more physical strength. You are no more being driven by your physical strength. It is about your will. If you have those that have big willpower, those that have weak power, these are the people that will continue. And this is the situation we are in. Are you hearing me? This is the situation we are in today. Because some people, They said, no, nah, Mazi now, I'll wait until Mazi Nnamdi Kanu come out. If every one of us start waiting, doing nothing for Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to come out, you will see that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu will come out to see nothing. Everybody, everything has dispersed. So, it is our duty in order to keep this fire burning. Are you hearing me? So that at the end, we must restore Biafra. Our lines, as I said, are still open so that you can call. You can call us and give us your view on the area that is treated, on what is being treated today, and the news headlines, please. Because Nigeria, Chibo, and also in Nigeria, we are not free. That is the reality. Nigeria is the graveyard of Biafrans. Are you hearing what I'm saying? Nigeria is the graveyard of Biafrans. Therefore, as people are not calling, I don't know whether people are not listening. We must continue, and we will never be taken aback. We have no back to go. We must continue in what we are doing. As people are not calling, I will draw the curtain down here. We must continue. Last week, I couldn't make it on some few days, but this time around, there are things that privately, that is, but we must continue. Let me see. Immediately I say this, people start calling. I don't know. People start calling. Caller on, let me see, is it WhatsApp? WhatsApp, yes. Caller on Signal, hold on. Caller on WhatsApp, can you hear me? Just hold on, please. Yes, caller on WhatsApp, please go on. Yes, go on, please. Go on, can you hear me? Go on, call on WhatsApp. Go on, please, go on.
Oh, this your teaching this night is very, very in-depth. Understand? I remember during the rendition of our leader, the time that our leader was renditioned, I remember this our brother, is it Rabbi Charles and Pastor Jack, they will call already and be saying, our leader said that if you look for him, I will not see him, we should burn the zoo, this and that, this and that. That time I was listening, I'm not calling on Radio Biafra. And at a point, the leadership say, they give people time, maybe like 1 week or 2 weeks. They now say that everybody should stop, everybody should calm down. But after, this man will still call and start be saying, nobody should tell us to calm down, this and that, this and that. I was like, our people are not disciplined. What is this man? As in, there is something, I want to call, but I'm the kind of person that I don't like to, accuse people wrongly. So I keep my cool until it happened. Then why I'm saying this is that some of our people, they will call Radio Biafra, instead of making appeal or making suggestion, they will be giving order on Radio Biafra.
Yes. That's Rabbi Charles.
Yes. They will be saying no election, this and that, no election in Biafra. I was like, if I am the leadership of this struggle, even if I want to go to war with our people, I will think twice because we lack discipline. It's better to call and make appeal or make suggestion than coming and be giving order. So I want to appeal to our people. Let us show discipline. We have been like 10 years in this struggle. 10 years teaching is not like 10 days teaching. So we should also be showing that discipline. That's what I want to contribute.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Of course. And that is, the first rule is discipline. Because without discipline, we go nowhere, honestly speaking. Caller on signal. Can you hear me? Caller on signal. Mazi, hear me, Chris, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I can hear you, Mazi. Good evening. Yeah.
There, Mazi. There,
Yeah, it's been a long time.
Of course.
Yeah, thank you, Mazi. This is Chris calling from Italy. Mazi, a lot of things you have said this evening is something that needs to be said, and let the Biafrans understand that. Let me begin from where you talk about if we call for war. Nigerian Igbos are not prepared, or Biafrans are not prepared for war. One, our people are flexible. We have what I call flexible mindset. That is what I call it, flexible mindset. And some of us, 90% of us, also have a fixed mindset. They stick on this thing, and that's why you see something like you see some. Let me give you an example of this. In Igbo land or Biafra land, you see some of the things our fathers did, like in here they call Manala, something like Manala. You see our children will grow up and they continue. This is where my fathers to know how to begin it. But in all these things, I don't want any business, or a generational business, but like your Manala things, where you don't spend money, it don't cost you anything. You see somebody, even more everywhere, on a place or outside the label, or got my look back, grew up for night, no here, no here. This is what I call fixed mindset. Now, let me continue to what you said. In terms of what the declaration this man said, that I feel by making money is for individual richness. I saw somebody wrote something about that on a social platform. And I said to that person, this man that made that statement, he understands our people. You know, the British people come to Biafra land and stay for over 40 years or 50 years before they amalgamate us to within Nigeria. And within these 40 years, they are about studying our people. If somebody keep on studying you, you don't know. You'll be living your life, but that person, after he has finished studying you, your character and your way of life, he will tell you things you do when you wake up in the morning. I'm an example of that. When I get to study somebody living with me, if I finish, within 6 months, I finish studying that person. If I wake up in the morning, I'll tell you, this is what this man will do first. When he come here now, this is what the word he use. This is how he presents himself. I will tell you everything about that person. So the same thing the British did. They study our people. Know that our people are very people. I don't know how to put it, money conscious or whatever. We don't understand something collectivity. Then that's why they use that word, because once they talk about that money, the lesson is they are really heading. If not that our leader came, certain times start preaching, it is the prerogative of the government to arrest those and then saying also, sometimes it's lie. But because for the Nigerian government to make sure that they fuse something so that we see our people that are the fault of our not developing Southeast, as you just said about airport, after we have contributed our own money to build the airport, the Nigerian government refused to equip it. Now, it's their duty to equip it so that it will run international, but they refuse. But at the behind, they will go back and tell you, area Lagos airport, that is what they're giving them money, they spend it. So when our people hear something about money, they will be confused. In the same thing happened in IPOB. Some people, when they come, they have sold our leader, they took money. Remember, I wrote on this platform, on our platform, one of our platform here. During the time they pushed this information, they said Chimazi Chinasamoro with Chief Museum are in Nigeria cruising with the SUV during December time while our leader had sold our leader. That's what they said. The news come out. We had this kind of information that they said that. And during the time when our leader initially started this project, what they used to call us, some people call our leader, this struggle. This is the thing, because they understand the IQ of our people, the way our people reason. So they are trying to use that thing to make sure that they sow the seed of discord without faith. But little did they know that those are called hardcores in IPOB use their way work, bring out of our money. Our tithe is where we're paying our tithe on IPOB, on Biafra struggle. That's where we pay our tithe for our future progress and development of our preservance of our people. So what we are doing here today, maybe we will not be the people who inherit Biafra, but we'll make sure that we'll provide a place, a neighboring place for our people to do anything they want to do, to live, to save their life and live. So that's what we are doing. So this Nigerian military officer that said that, they know what they're saying, but they also know that what they're saying is lie. It's part of the propaganda that our leader said. Are you willing to stand propaganda? A pamphlet that the leader has been captured, you run away. I was a coordinator when some of my members immediately this issue of arresting our leader in Kenya come out in the camp. He said, no, US the person sued. I asked him several questions to tell me how do he know. He didn't answer me. But all he said that no, they are there. Our leader went to Kenya. He didn't know. I said, what if our leader decided not to tell anybody I went to Kenya? Do you know about this? He didn't care. That's how our people reason. So these things they are saying here is to sow the seed of discord, and that thing that trouble our people, they use it to attack our people. So that's number one. Then let me just add another thing before I go. My dear brother, there's something I've been saying, thinking in my mind for a very long time. And let me just say it on your program today. Having seen what is going on between our leader and the lawyer we have and whatever. As we speak today, whatever our leader is defending himself in the court of Nigeria dwells in the outcome of the Ejiofor and the Zokomas results. So note this, that the law Ejimako has not done anything differently from what those people have done before. Now, and from my own primary understanding in laws, I know that there will be a certain time of judgment, that the case will be in the court, maybe come several times, the prosecutor has no case, have nothing to judge. Then the judge will strike the case off because you don't have any evidence to prove what you are accusing that person for. And that is my own understanding. I don't know whether it works in Nigeria law or not. So now, this issue is supposed to be that maybe 2-3 courts within the Ejiofor and Zokome, they could have struck this case out by rule of law because they have been demanding that allow this man to go strike the case, and that's why they are joining case on daily basis. And any case they join or they are amended, the Ejiofor and the Zokome will read it and say this is the same case. It has no meaning. It will be struck off immediately. So they have nothing to bring on board again. Now they went into make sure that drive these two lawyers, and they drive them and put to Ejimako. And now what Ejimako did is to drive this case into handling it to political solution, which will be determined by the politician, no more by the rule of law or by the court. So, which means that our leader can stay there until any politician decides and how they will settle the matter. If our leader refuse their condition, that means he will stay with them. So, to me, it seems that Ejimako and his brothers of our leader has achieved what they wanted. For me, they have achieved what they wanted to achieve under what they want to hand the case to, even with their use of Igbo politicians, to hand this case over to the politicians, which in the normal case, the case in the court, it is supposed to have been handed over to politicians or political solution. It must be finished by the law. So for me, the leadership will look into, we find a solution to find a way, maybe another option to make sure that our leader come out or continue the court process, because through the political solution, the only result there is that our leader will accept what they want. And once our leader is not willing to accept what they want, they will continue to detain him there. So these two people, Jumako, has been handling this case. So the Biafrans will ask him his achievement within these 6 months now has taken over this position. That's my point.
Yeah. Your point is understandable, and I know this thing you are saying. IPOB leadership, they have been doing this. The frustration that the leadership is getting, even under this Mazi Nnamdi Kanu trial, is something that is mind-boggling. It's not everybody that can have patience or to endure what IPOB leadership is enduring. Mazi, I'm telling you honestly, yes, what you're saying, you are genuinely concerned, you are genuine in what you're saying, but let me tell you, you see what the Mazi Nnamdi Kanu family, they blackmail, they unleash on the leader, unfounded, just lie. They know that they are lying. They know that everything they are doing is lying. The reason they are doing this is what is baffling everybody. No person understands why they are doing this. And the issue is that they sold lies to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and he take it. Do you think that the leadership is not doing anything? Do you think that the leadership wants Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to be there? But any plan the leadership brings out, they will sabotage it. Immediately, they will sabotage it for reason best known to them. That is, even me myself, I no more even talk on that one, because I cannot understand their main purpose. Have sabotage. I don't know. They feel that this IPOB, I know that their initial plan was, I must be honest with you, with some things I know personally, I concluded that they put this IPOB to be a family business before God and man. Oh, actually. Forget that I am telling you, I'm saying this on air. What happened these 3 years? The little I know personally. IPOB from being family business, as Kanu family put it. I am telling you. But many of us don't know. Because any move the leadership make, they will sabotage it, and before you know, they use it to go and make one blackmail or the other. Get out. What is the... People don't know, but Kamara equal many things on air anyway. Some of our even leadership can happen here to the Kanu family. What I'm telling you is, I'm saying it on air. It's not a lie. Some trying to discourage saying that, can I happen this thing? Let them carry on, I beg. What am I getting from this? Manokwa few hours I say ana yosibiko. I make us share this thing. What? People don't know the fight, the internal fight. That's why Mazi Chinas and Wolpotaya say Joron Kanu family, that is Kanu sibling. So from this. Now, is it not them that are gaining everything financially? Is it not what is happening? So, any move the leadership make, these people will go and frustrate it in any way. So, it becomes a cause for concern. I am telling you.
Okay.
Yeah. So that is the thing.
I understand you. I understand what you say, Mazi, and I'm aware of some of those things. But my point is that, you see the struggle. If we do all these things and fail to get Biafra, all of us fail.
We will never fail.
Sure. Okay, good.
Mazi, let
For
me
we
tell you,
not to fail.
if had it been we will leave this, many people would have in the hierarchy would have gone said nah yourself no
Okay, that's my point.
but
That's my
the
point.
thing decided
That's
say
my
we
point.
if we say no, let us leave this in, which means our enemies have succeeded. So all you want to encourage, we will not stop. And we are determined.
Okay,
Mazi Nnamdi Kanu,
so
I got Piwa Kana go where not put one Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. We first of all, the
good.
leadership
So
first of all saved the IPOB as a worldwide family. A rescue IPOB. Yeah, chim. You know, that is the thing. That is the only
okay,
thing I can tell you.
that,
There will.
that's my point. I'm trying to also make, because I understand some of all the things I know about them, but what I'm trying to say is that not that the leadership are not doing anything; they're doing a lot. But let me use the borrow this word from Goodluck Jonathan. After he fought for Boko Haram, and after he has run away from the presidency, then they asked him about the Boko Haram business. He said that he is not the military fighting. He sent people go there, but he takes the responsibility that they tried, but they make a lot of effort, but the effort is not enough. Let me borrow that word. So if we fail to achieve what we want, to allow these people to destroy the Biafra, our effort to become all in futility is not enough. So for we to fulfill what we are doing, we will continue, and all these things, all these crumbs, all this stone, all these storms, we meet them, even in local places and even at the high leadership, we meet all them. So what we are going to do is that what I always say on daily basis, I tell my fellow comrades that this struggle have no one particular direction, because when you change pattern, the people you are fighting will change another strategy, and you change strategy, they also change pattern. So all this thing will be coming often and on until we get what we want. So it can never be surprised that all those things were happening, because some came inside the struggle. If you are being in a zone, so come inside the struggle because for the quest of position, some come for the quest of money. So come to know about. I do know that I have a friend who have not been in IPOB, but anytime you talk about IPOB, you say who is controlling the money. You see the IQ of our people. He's not an IPO member. He never attend IPO meeting. But anytime you talk about it, he will tell you, well, if I'm not in charge of the money, I will not come.
Oh, it's Chendi. Most
you see the kind
that's
of
how they are. Oh, tidy.
So now you get my point. So what I'm trying to say is that these two people, we must hold them responsible, especially Aloy Ejimako, to ask him certain questions. And this thing will be Boglo online. Asking questions, his achievement within the period of 6 months. Because he cannot, I can see last time I already forced him to ask him to sit down, because he's trying to go out of point. And this is why people become, sorry to digress all these things I'm saying here, because it had been bothering me for a very long time that I have to aid. So the point is that when our leader came out the last court, they brought a Fulani journalist who knows that our leader is profess something like what they call it, Judaism or Christianity. But yet this Fulani journalist get the courage to ask our leader, how Salah? Didn't she know that our leader is not a Muslim? Our leader intelligently said, I heard that it's fine. Why that lady came is to make sure that to put evidence that our leader has accepted the political solution through the AGF. And when he asked our leader said, no, it's the Nigerian government that arrested me. They are the one to come and tell me what they want. Before Aloy Ejimako took over, answering all those sort of questions, quoting law. And at the end of it, our leader defeated them. Our leader said, the man is quoting what the law said and not what I said. You see where they are trying to anchor that issue to go to political solution. And when they go to political solution, if the people deceiving our brothers and the siblings and other lawyers, no. When they go to Nigeria, if you don't take time, you behave like them. We outside the world, we reason very well because we are in a calm situation. But when you can't see somebody, in Nigeria, people do have everything they're supposed to reason from their head. They think that it's something spiritual or something. They tell me, I know. I know this person, I know they forget. They inside the politics, I understand it better. Even if you know nothing, he will claim that he knows better than that because he know one large you don't like to him. And he believes all those things. This is the way our people think. And that is why they are following those politicians and are driving them all around, cycle. So bringing them to another point. Now, anything they do, anything the Nigerian government do, have a reason. And in the due time, you see how it develops. Because they know they are government, they know what they sit down and analyze everything they got. But this is what I say here. This Ajaba, this Ambazonia person, it's the same thing because they sit down and analyze everything and see how we go. They use propaganda and a lot of things. So we are willing to stand for everything. But what I'm calling that we will do more to make sure that we do something to free our leader. That's my point. If we don't free our leader, we don't get Biafra, we fail. But we will not fail. I wish and I would to enforce our leadership to continue their job. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you anyway. Thank you. We must continue. But there is something I want to say here, please. I know you listen from the background. The attorney Ejimako, for your information, is being sanctioned by our leader. Without our leader's consent, approval, attorney Ejimako cannot be there. That is a reality. You understand? So you cannot go now start confronting somebody that is being approved by our leader himself. That's it. That is it is his lead attorney now. He put him there. So if you go start confronting him, it will be another problem with our leader. So the leadership with IPOB is doing their own in order to make sure that our leader is out. Whoever that is on the hem, Ejimako is there, yes. You cannot come start confronting him, no. Sometimes you don't cry more than the bereaved, because every information was given to our leader, but he did what he approved what happened. So there is nothing. You understand? There is nothing. You cannot go back to Ozekuma now and say he will not even listen to you at all. So let them be walking, and we'll be watching them. And also IPOB will be doing their own thing. But we should understand that our leader is not in over-the-counter, police custody over-the-counter, no. What made Nigeria to spend millions of dollars to rendition our leader from Kenya, breaking international law with the consent of CIA, with the help of CIA, with the help of Mossad, with the consent of world powers, Western powers, know that thing is serious. It's not a child's play. So that I know, let us also understand that go and remove our leader as if a Kamana police station. Our leader. It's not like that. All people should know this. Even Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is a British citizen. Under normal circumstance, Britain should defend even their citizen. But what made them to give back hand? Don't you know that it is a very serious matter? Don't you know that? The only thing is that the Kanu siblings, they are not helping issues. 2015, yes, there were minor skirmishes, but everybody was in synergy. The same lawyer, Ejiofor, made sure our leader came out. Everybody was in direct, synergy, going towards one direction, and our leader was out. But this time around, for reason best known to Kanu family, where but what they are gaining, ego autonomy had to the extent that they believe that when you see that Nigerian police. Forget that we are defending ourselves. Because we say that Yogda men here, Yogda Angotara one kwa na azui no nke yo bunafo. When you see the Nigerian police is making this assertion, yes. Again, went out of they saw many things. Hana DSS custody. In here, Kanu family, in here, Kanu sibling, not family. In here, Kanu sibling, in here, they hear everything. They know everything. They hear everything. So Nigeria is a government. When you see they put Mazi Nnamdi Kanu in DSS, do you know what is DSS? Equivalent of FBI. Not ordinary police. Is a country DSS, secret police that can bug you, even put you on microphone, you will not know. They will be tracking you. They have the capability of everything. Why don't we think? When we were saying at the beginning that these people, both the lawyers, they should know what to talk, the way they are talking to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu siblings should understand that there is DSS. Everywhere is wired. Is it not since yesterday that Jimoko is talking it? No, they wired this thing, the fridge. They wired the what do you call it? The air conditioner. Something right from day one they should know. But it's now they are knowing it. Because everything. DSS is listening to every of their conversation. Everything. And you see that, they didn't come on they didn't come to restore Biafrans as you think. The heart of IPOB is being rescued now, has been rescued by the DOS. I am telling you honestly. The heart of IPOB. Because these people actually are in him. What their mission is ego. That's why I had Ghana different types of rubbish. Kidnapping, this nonsense. If not that we are mission, IPOB leadership on your now got away. Man, we can. This is what they want us to do, so that how Bruzi now the leadership politicians say, "Hey, now it was the case here, man." That is what they wanted, but we go nowhere. I know a bar. Biafra, Biafra must be restored. That is it. We go nowhere. Let me take these two callers, please. Caller on WhatsApp. Please go on. Caller on WhatsApp.
Mazi, watching it. So may God bless you. Sugar Kabema. And in him more, Mazi. That is why everyone that is in this very struggle should thank Elohim for Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. The greatest gift that we got. It is this very platform that made every one of us to be this critical thinker. If it's not from how we have been subjecting everything that comes our way, I guess we would have been wiped away by the wind, But no matter how it comes, no matter what it is being thrown at us, we subject everything to critical thinking. And before I go further, I would like to suggest and plead, because there are so many newcomers and there are COVID members and there are people that came with loss of interest or different motives. So I suggest we should just map out, even if it's nights or in a particular day. Let us be playing most of this Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's tape, because if you watch many of us that is in this very struggle, it is we'll just go back to what we have been taught in this very platform by Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and all our media warriors, especially in the early days of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. You just, like me myself, I in issues that I don't understand, what I do is that I keep calm and I keep as in low. With time, I will just understand Like there was a time our leader, put no election and later cancelled it. If you watch, everybody was upset. But due to how we are trained, we keep calm with time. We understand that these things are the processes, and it's not for us to question, but it's for us to be a good follower. And we have sold our soul to this very struggle, and there is no turning back. Anyone that is thinking that I'm not even thinking of falling, what will fall us? When we have committed our life, our wealth, our time, everything that we have. And I'm even telling this whole international community, the Nigerian government, and anybody that cares to learn, that have been, fighting this our restoration. That's the best thing for them to do is to give us a referendum, because they cannot stand the new generation, the generation that will take over this very struggle from us. Because if we can stand all of this, their propaganda, don't they know that the generation that we have given birth to, my kids, I make sure that everything that is coming out from this very platform, everything that I know, everything that I've heard, everything that we need to equip ourselves, I pass it to them, no matter how it might look, no matter where I am bold to tell them, because I know I don't have all the years in life, and this year I also relay. You pass it to people around you, just as Mazi and Nnamdi kind of have brought us up. So I'm telling anybody that is there fighting the restoration of Biafra, you're just cracking a people, because we don't have back to go, and we don't have amazing things. What we have come to do is to restore the kingdom of God, the kingdom of Chukwukabiam on earth, and it is what we were born to do. None of us that we did not came here in an accident. We are born for this very purpose. Mazi, as in all of these things that have happened, it has even taught us the more. If just like you bring the issues of social media, all of these opportunities that came to shout Biafra, 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 where lies, where are they? We have known how to keep them, how to follow them, and all of these things. So every incident that they throw at us teaches us the best way to confront issues. And I really bless Chukwukabiama. That is why, if you have been in this very media, this very struggle, you hear Mazi and Kanu say that this very DOS are the people that will get off Biafra. And it has, I said, I bless Chukwukabiama for the very men, the people that is in this very struggle. Are they not seeing that there are so many Mazi and Kanu? Are they not seeing that there are many Chika, China Samoru? Everybody have geared towards discipline. Everybody have geared towards this very leadership. And there's no way that they can put. You can't take out this the child mouth from his mother's breast at all. Nothing that they can throw at us that we, even their shenanigans that they are doing in court. Don't they know that we know how it will end? Don't they know that we know that these issues like this will come across? The Jimako that is perambulating, we know how it will end. You see somebody that your client is talking about, there is no way that they can try him, giving you the constitutional backing. You all the time you keep pronouncing court case, trial. Who do you want to try? With what is the legality in it? So we are not backing down, neither are we deterred with all this their ranting and all of these things. We have been trained physically, spiritually, in every way. There is nothing. I want to even ask this question: where are those religious leaders? Those people that normally comes to court putting on white. Don't they know that we know who they are, know everything about them before we started? Let them go and bring their pope and come to court. Everything, and we look, everyone that is in this very struggle, but I'm telling everybody that even if you yourself, just as Mazi and Nnamdi have said, even if you make yourself a tool, don't they see how they are picked up? Don't they see how all their plans are being shattered by the same people that sent them? Don't they know that he has? There are people that pushed him. That is the same way Ibrahim will still end. And the Bemans will be brutal because they will not want him to say anything. So they will even eliminate him before they arrest him. So we are not backing down. Neither will we even have back to back down. Mazi, I bless you, that everyone that is in this very struggle, and the chaff have been, the chaffs. What is remaining now is the real hardcores. And anyone that, look, what you need now is to install discipline. Just as you normally say that what you do not understand, use discipline to follow it. Obey. As you keep obeying, you will see that you understand far better. Mazi, what we are doing, anyone that doesn't want to make himself a tools, we are not lacking anything in this very struggle. If you want us and want in 1 million, it will come. It is not nothing we are doing that is in our own power. It is by the that perseverance and the desire to get a free nation where we look at what they have done to us. Just like my person, I worked for 2 good weeks in Sahara Desert. From what even bores me the more is just that what I've encountered in my life. I nearly died in Sahara Desert. I nearly died in Mediterranean. But here I am. So am I living for myself? I'm living because what makes me to survive is for this very struggle. And I don't want my kids, no matter what I've worked for, what ensures their good welfare or their good life is when we get a good society where people will people will be free to show their God-given talent and all of it. And Biafra is that very nation. Mazi, I say, may Chukwu Kabiyama bless you and give you more knowledge. Well, let me give time space for other people. Thank you so much.
Mazi, thank you very much. We must continue. Caller on signal. Can you hear me? Caller on signal. Caller on signal, please. Can you hear me?
Yes, Professor Jonathan. Good evening from my location. I greet Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, our leader, a prisoner of conscience and a victim of state-sponsored terrorism. I greet every member of the authority of state and the lovers of freedom around the world, IPOB families. My name remains Mazi Nnamdi, and I am coming right from the coastal region of Biafra, Kwibon precisely. Professor Jonathan, let me quickly dive into interesting topic you talk about self-determination. Our people must have to know that the note of self-determination was born out of the quest or shared desire of people with common value to exist freely as a people freely born or freely created by God, who are potentially to be equal before the law they made to themselves. And in this context, we must understand that for us to talk about value of the people, we must have to know that we are talking about nationhood. And in nationhood, where we are talking about Biafra as a nation, we will understand that it is bound with commonality of value system or share common value. Those are the things that bonded us together. And when issues like this are coming for us to begin to agitate, it then means there exists a kind of injustice or discrimination within the corridor of the state where we are jammed together with the people of different diverse values that we don't have anything in common. And that was what prompted our agitation to exist freely and also exercise our right as freely born people. So Those are the things that we must have to understand. In the context of where we are in the geographical location called Nigeria, we must have to understand the dynamics of culture, diversity of culture and religion. And while we are looking into that, we will also not forget that the problem we have here is Funanis, who are not indigenous to this state. They are people who came through conquest, just like the Britain came through conquest, which means Funanis and the Britain share common value, talking in terms of because two of them believe in conquest. And those are the reason why there are a kind of subjugation and the suppression from the Britain and the Funanis who are representing them here in the Nigeria. But we must have to exist. And why must we have to exist? And in our effort to try to exist, that prompted agitation. And why agitation is going on is because of there is a law already put on for people to exist freely, which is self-determination. So, and that is exactly what is happening. And what I want to say for our people to understand is that in a journey of this magnitude, we understand because of the level of our population and the human differences, there are bound to be a lot of things. We are bound to encounter a lot of things on the process. Just like so many other people who have fought this kind of fight have come by so many obstacles. So there is no how we will be thinking that what we are seeing presently is something that is new. It can be least expected from anybody who tells himself truth about this struggle, unless you are not mentally fit before you will not expect issues or things like this to happen. Nigeria is a state with a lot of potentials and the capacities, and as a government, they have a lot of resources. They have a lot of muscles to muscle us, even within and outside us. So what we have to do is to develop a mental toughness to resist some kind of negative influences from the Nigeria state. And this can only happen when we foster discipline among ourselves. That is the only way we can develop a kind of potential resistance. Then, Mazi Jonathan, the other way we must have to continue to increase this is by what you people are doing in the radio, and some of us in the writing department, and some of our people in the visual social media, and a lot of activities. We have to complement it. So it is by so doing that we can also get our people together so that they can move in one direction. And that is why this movement is anchored on cardinal principle of command and control. It's more of a military organization. And that is what our people will have to know, that in a fight for struggle or a struggle for freedom of deep magnitude, you don't have to put the dog before the cat or put the cat before the dog. If the dog is the leadership, you must have to follow the direction they go. You must have to get the instruction from them, because they are the people at the helm of affairs. They are the people who are engaging in diplomatic movement. They are the people who are engaging in every area of this struggle that we must have to exploit, to make sure that our people really focus and get thing the way they wanted it to be done. So that is why our people must have to get focused and make sure that every instruction from the leadership is what they abide by, and no distraction from the Nigeria state or any other agent promoted by the Nigeria state. And that other this thing you asked, whether we are ready for war if war is break up, I will not answer in the affirmative, because in a Niger society as Igbos, mind you that the struggle for Biafra is not about Igbos, it's about Eastern region, which of course I'm coming from coastal region of Biafra, which majority of them are not Igbos, partly Igbos and partly other ethnic tribe making up Biafrans. And why that is happening, I will tell you that we are not ready. We are ready as IPOB under one umbrella, but as Biafrans, we are not ready, because I know what is happening within the jurisdiction that I'm covering. I listen to a lot of our people here who are being misinformed by the Nigerian state. And I know what they are talking about. We have a lot of work to do to ensure that we get our people together. The only thing that can help us in this moment is the power of unity. And that is what we are doing. We must have to get our people together. And it is only until when we get our people together, be it Efi, be it Bibio, be it Anam, be it, what do you call it, this Ejo and the rest of them. Whenever we get our people, majority of our people, we cannot get everybody together, because there are people who will prefer to get wasted. So, but we are looking at the vast majority of our people. When we get them together, then I can tell you obviously that we'll be ready to march. So, Professor Jonathan, I thank you, and I thank every Biafrans. I ask each and every one of us to support the leadership and listen to every instruction come from the leadership. I also ask every one of us to also listen to Radio Biafra, because that is where we can get the message about the restoration of Biafra and nowhere else.
Mazi.
Biafra is our religion.
Of course.
Here on Radio Biafra, we must continue to propagate the message of freedom. Almost a Biafra. And thank you for giving me this opportunity.
There, Mazi. Thank you. Caller on WhatsApp, you're the last caller. Can you hear me?
Yes. Good evening, Mazi.
There, Mazi.
My name is Onyebuchi Odo. This is my first time in my life ever calling to Radio Biafra. I'm calling from Biafra. I'm from Enugu State, Enugu Province, Biafra land. So my contribution is just like words of encouragement. You made mention that people are not listening. Millions of people are listening. I've been struggling so many times to call, but this is my first time. I'm very grateful. So I want to encourage you. We are listening. So this Radio Biafra, what people are doing is freedom and enlightenment. On the part of enlightenment, our people are waking up. Majority are listening. Majority are changing their mindset. I'm a living example, and many of the friends within my circle are living example. So don't think people are not listening. People are listening, and their eyes are opening. They are understanding the directions things are moving. You understand? So when this Nigeria defense team brought this issue, all my friends, we are just like laughing. So, but sometimes, as the cost of calling on this platform, I would just like to ask, does it mean that you think these people don't know what they're doing? For me, from my own analysis, it is a sign that they are already frustrated, because they know that even this cheap blackmail is somehow so childish, because they cannot tell us that they arrested Nnamdi Kanu just because he's fighting for, he's interested in money. They are holding some IPOB members in prison because of money. They are shooting IPOB members protesting because they are demanding because of money. They know what they're doing. But for me, it is a typical sign of frustration because, as you say, IPOB is holding them on ground. Do you understand? So that is a point I wish to make here. You people are doing a great job. Do you understand? And people are listening. Don't think people are not listening. Many people are listening, and I will continue to encourage you people. We are all listening, and we will continue to listen because this is the only university, as Nnamdi Kanu say, that you cannot come without having your mind open, your eyes open. Everything about your life will change overnight. Do you understand me? Nigerian government and their agents, all they know that IPOB as a group has won them. Do you understand? All these things they are doing is just they are trying to come back to the ground to know, just to frustrate the minds of the people. But I'm happy through this radio platform, the mindset of our people are already somehow fixed. That even when they hear such kind of Nigerian government, they can easily say, yes, they know this is just a mere blackmail. So I wish to encourage you people to continue. We all listening and we continue to listen. We don't joke with Radio Biafra because it's the highest university ever I've ever witnessed. Where you come to learn freely without payment, and your eyes will be open, your mind will be open, and your mindset will change automatically. We are all following up. That is just what I want to say. I thank China Sanworu, all the members of DOS, we know what is happening, and we know we have won them and we continue to win them. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, and you're the last caller. You made my day. You the first time of calling. Honestly speaking, I'm happy for that because I love to hear from first-time callers. Honestly, so Biafrans and lovers of freedom. Let me tell you something. We are not backing down. Any person that thinks that through blackmail or through this and that, IPOB will back down, that no, you are wrong, you are mistaken. Not this generation. We are a special breed. And Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, no matter his ordeal, no matter how they are trying to useless everything, but he must be released. IPOB leadership, notwithstanding the frustration, how they try to frustrate the leadership, every inch of movement they made, they were being frustrated by the Kanu family. I don't mince words about it. I come sometimes, most of the time, I start asking, I say, okay, what is the problem? Can you hear the problem? Just like what this Ambazonian ex-deputy, Capo Daniel, said. People are always, dragged by their selfish interests. And you think that they are doing the thing for love of the movement. No, it is what they are going to gain. What they want to gain. That is why we are different. We are doing what we are doing. It is not just like one of our comrades said. We are called for this. We are not doing it for personal gain or what you are going to do. No. It doesn't matter how they call us foolish people. Oh, they call us now. Oh, we are using you people. Oh, yeah. We don't. It doesn't move us. That blackmail is very cheap. We must continue. Our foremost goal is restoration of Biafra, liberating our people, building this political force towards one direction. Are you hearing me? That is what IPOB is for. Politically driven force. Not a private interest, selfish interest driven force. No. politically driven force. That is our collectivity, the interest, our collective interest. And what is our collective interest? For our marginalization to stop. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu said last time, also the marginalization, the persecution, the subjugation of Igbos will stop with me. That is the leadership, the leader talking. And that is how it is. So, all those things give us more strength in order to fight, in order to continue. We are not driven by our personal interest. No. What is IPOB giving me, for goodness sake? What is, instead we put in IPOB, we put in this struggle. Just like one of our brother, Emi Chris. Some people, when they nah, who is controlling your money? They are not inside IPOB. They don't contribute. They don't do anything. What matters for them is money. That's why when you look, when you are called for this struggle, Ibu, you are heavily laden. I am telling you, because you cannot run away from it. Otherwise, you will never be happy. You will never be a happy person. Even if you want to get the whole money in this world, you will not be happy until you fulfill that mission. That is it. So, when people talk about money, it baffles me. As if you're looking for money, you go do your business, you go work, that's it. But when it's a very big pity that many of our people are still blinded. Many of our people are still mischievous. Many of our people are still ignorant of the situation we are. If we don't rescue ourselves, we become slaves in our own land. Are you hearing me? We become slaves in our own land. The problem that is happening in the Middle East today, Israel, you are seeing today, they drove them out of their land for thousands of years. Even before Common Era, before Christ, some were taken to Babylon. They conquered them. Only very, very few minute pieces. Nature abhors vacuum. As they were moving out, people were coming in. Arabs were encroaching, living in their land. How can you run away from your land for 1,000 years, their generation, after all of a sudden, after 2,000-3,000 years, they come back and start saying, no, this is our land. Do we think about it? Do we really think in logical? Although this world is not about logic anyway. So, that is what happened. If we don't rescue ourselves, we will go the same way. The Nigerian government is trying to populate our land with the Fulani. So, the way we born. The way they born. They come in our land as a hope. They wanted to do through hope, which never stop, but we are at a lot. They will bring people. They will start marrying. They start burning. They can marry 4 wives. You are programmed to marry 1. We are thinking that, we are so much Western. I cannot call it civilized. We are Westernized. You marry 1 wife, born 2, 3, highest 4 children. Fulani, they come to our land, they marry 4, they born 30 out of that 4. Before 30 years, they overpopulate us. They outpopulate us. You can no longer tell them, go to your land. That is how they take over lands. The natural demographic changes. They infuse it naturally by bearing many children. As you are bearing 1, 2, 3 children, 4 children, they are bearing 15, 30, 35. Are you hearing me? Before you know, everywhere they occupy, they become more populous. It's natural thing. You become minority, and they take over. That is what is in the offing. Are you hearing what I'm saying? We save ourselves. We should relegate our private, our selfish interests, our greed, one jealousy, greed. We should relegate it to the background and fight for our collective interests. Otherwise, all of us are in the same mess. Are you hearing what I'm saying? The former Iwanyawu Ohaneze Ndi Igbo chieftain is gone. Maybe his children, whether they will continue his businesses or they will divide it and everybody go his way. That is, he is gone and gone forever. What is the legacy being led? What is the legacy? Oh, it's Ndibo. It's Ndibo na Lagos. I'm happy that I think now they are making they are making public law now to outlaw Ndibo in the whole of any part of Nigeria. Onye pụta inwete nwa penny gị gụrụ iwe eze ndị Igbo na Ọkọta, eze ndị Igbo na Kanu. If any order was given for our collective interest, you see, eze ndị Igbo na Kanu, we are no more, we will not abide by that. We are here, Igbos in Kanu, said by eze ndị Igbo na Kanu. Are you hearing me? So that law is to the right direction. Is very right, so that nobody will be Ezendi Igbo again in Katangura, no Ezendi Igbo in Ketu, no Ezendi Igbo in Ebada, because our people know how to bastardize everything. Anything happening, bastardize, oh yeah, everything, so that we flow, at least we flow towards one direction, central order. It is writing. When things change, we change with things, with the situation, with the time we are in. Not only everything doing the same thing, and let me do my own thing. It doesn't profit us anywhere. And we are being collectively marginalized, reduced to nothing. Everybody, for how long can we continue this? That is the gap IPOB is there. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu said the persecution of Igbos will stop by him. And rightly so. So we must back it up. It doesn't matter what others blackmails by the siblings or any other person. That is not the problem. We should look down on them and continue firing on. Because that is what the Nigerian government wants us to do, to abandon this so that they will laugh. Are you hearing me? Biafra remains our ideology. Biafra is our religion. We must continue to making sure that our nation Biafra is restored. Thank you for listening. From me, Mazi Jonathan Chinedu, from here, it's simply good evening.
Biafra,